Good afternoon, everybody. I wanted to give a little update on the Getty Homestead. I also wanted to go over my brooder and how I made it. I've seen a few posts in some of the chicken pages that I follow, and I've shared this idea with some folks. And so I'm going to share it with the rest of the world too. So for my brooder, I just took a dog kennel. I work at a gas station, so I got some cigarette boxes, and I actually took the boxes, I cut off the extra flaps, like to fold the bottoms together and whatnot, and I saved those. And then I lined the boxes up around the edges of the kennel. I put holes in them, and then I zip tied them right to the kennel. And I did that all the way around. But I also had an escape artist at one point, so then I had to take two pieces, which came from those flaps, and I cut them to size so that way they don't interfere with the latches at all. And then I zip tied them to the door as well, because an escape artist had escaped from this ledge here and managed to get through here, and well, I have two cats and a dog, so we can imagine what happened. My chicks now, I'll back up a little. I took a heat lamp. It's got these clamps here, but for security, I did zip tie it to the top of the kennel. I will have to make adjustments at some point, or potentially get a smaller watt bulb to start to slowly reduce the temperature in here, but I'm not going to worry about that quite yet. My chicks now are almost a full week old. I've got 6 of them in here. One was an escape artist, but 7 did successfully hatch out of my first round. I actually use newspaper shreddings as bedding. I use it out in my chicken coop. I use it in here. I have some lovely friends that, have like a little business of their own, and when it's time to shred their stuff, they bring it over to my house. And then I shred all of the junk mail and all of the newspapers after we've read them and done our thing. So that's what I use for bedding. My chickens seem to love it, and it really saves money doing it that way. So here are my beautiful chicks. This one here with like the chipmunk stripes on its back is my favorite. The colors on that one is beautiful. Then I've got my little black guy over there. I think that one's going to be a rooster. And then I've got another little blondie over here. So bear with me here for a minute. I'll grab each one individually and get to show you guys these little chicks up close. So this one here is my favorite. I love the way it's got eyeliner around its eyes. I think this one might be a hen. Its comb is still pretty little at this point, but its colors are beautiful. I love the way that its feathers are starting to come in. It's just gorgeous. Here's one of my blondies. This one's got some gold like stripes down its back and this little black speck at the top of its head. Its little feathers are starting to come in there. This one's a pretty good sized little chick. So here's another one of my blondies. This one is the biggest chick I have right now in there. Its comb still doesn't seem that big yet, so I'm not really sure if this one's going to be a rooster or a hen, so kind of up in the air there. But yeah, this one's pretty good size. It's the biggest one in here right now. This one's got a few black speckles, on its back, on its wings, but super, super pretty. Now this one is my smallest one. Look at the wing on this guy. Now this one, I'm not sure yet, but I think this one might be a rooster. Its comb is much larger than the rest of them, and it's already got like this lump in the middle, more or less. So I think this one might be a rooster, and considering this one is also like the runt of the litter, it has me kind of excited because I do have a mini bandy rooster, and it is so flippin' adorable. And I can't kind of help but hope that I'll get another mini bandy or two. I'm not really sure how that works with chickens and roosters and the breeding and you know, the whole anatomy of that quite yet. But I'm in the process of learning, and so I hope that at some point I'll have the opportunity to hatch a little bandy. See, and if you look, that little black one already has tail feathers starting to stick up straight where these other ones do not yet, and they're all the same age. They're 5 or 6 days old now, but they're beautiful little chicks. We're also sitting on day 3, almost. It'll actually, technically, it's day 4. It'll be turning to day 4 here soon in incubator number 1. I did candle them last night, and it looks like they are all fertilized. However, it didn't seem to matter which way I tried. I could not get my camera on my phone to pick that up, so the video just was not up to par for what I wanted it to be to share it live. And then we are on day 3 in incubator number 2. Half the eggs are on day 3 and half the eggs are on day 2. We're maintaining pretty good temperature here, 102 degrees. The humidity could probably come up a little bit more. But I do have to open the lid anyways because it's time to rotate the eggs. Now, in an incubator where you do not have an automatic rotator, you actually want to rotate these 2 to 3 times a day because you do not want the embryo to stick to the shell. If that were to happen, your chick most likely will not continue to develop after that point. So you have to rotate them at least 3 times a day. So what I do is I rotate them when I get up and start getting ready for work in the morning. And then I rotate them again like I am now when I get home from work. And then I'm going to rotate these one more time before I go to bed. So I have not candled these ones yet. I really wanted to give it some time before I do. So we'll see how things go. The water level does appear to be a little low, so I'm going to add some water. I keep a measuring cup just kind of tucked over here. I really only do the measuring cup because it's just so much easier to pour that way. With the way that this incubator is set up, it's got like these little grooves and tunnels for water, but if you pour any of it in those outskirts, because there's actually like little holes on the bottom for leg stands for this to make it a table, water will leak if I put it anywhere else. Unfortunately, I discovered that the hard way and had water run all over my dresser when I went to put water in it for the first time. So, but what can I say? You know, this was my parents' incubator from when I was a kid, so this thing hasn't been used in at least a decade. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am not going to sit here and try and rely on my teenage memory back when I really didn't give a hoot. You know, now things are different because I'm interested in learning this stuff and it's what I want to do. And so I think I can trust my memory going forward on what I'm doing now, but I can't trust the teenage years. Guys, I'm telling you, that just ain't gonna work. But in this incubator, I have 35 eggs, and in this incubator, I've got 12 eggs, which are totaling for 47. So I think I'm going to candle these around day 7, and then I should really have a good idea as to how many fertile I have between both the incubators, and we will just kind of go from there. Once I have another update there, I'll be sure to share it with you guys. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.